Endless love. The simple principle of the universe is particles and space. All systems are one in the other. Particles are the main energy centers in which the 7 colors of the solar spectrum are located. The energies of consciousness itself. They make up a complex combination of wave motion. These are bodies endowed with life. The whole structure of movement lies outside the physical body of a person. Empty space is fraught with a spiritual world, infinite love. It is filled with clean energy. A piece of infinite love, high-frequency energy, a tiny point in infinity that makes up the whole, the absolute. This energy of light projects a hologram, a man who creates his own world. The quality of this world depends on the frequency of vibrations of energy waves, which are constantly changing, depending on their interaction with various vibrations, with which there is an endless interchange, figuratively speaking, of an energy point in the space of multifaceted infinity. The center, in this case, is the assemblage point, or rather the point of focus. The closer it is to the center, the higher its vibrations. The further it is removed, the vibrations change. Depending on which field it falls into, such frequencies prevail in its environment. With an increase in the frequency of vibrations of each particle, a kind of cleaning of the space into which it enters takes place, as it increases the vibrations of its waves, length, and frequency. A simple scheme for building a world. Infinite love, hologram man, the world of man, his environment, the animal world, the world of plants, the underworld, the planet Earth, other planets, everything that enters our fantasies. And also, infinite love, holograms of other life forms, invisible substances, various worlds above ground and underground, parallel worlds, other planets, other galaxies. To see a more or less complete picture of the entire holographic projection of infinity, it is necessary to increase the frequency and length of vibrational waves to the appropriate quality and level of their radiation. Hologram man is in constant contact with the reference point, origin. This is confirmed by intuition, dreams, trance states, the construction of thoughts and forms that arise in the right half of the brain. The hologram of life is formed by means of the formation of mental forms, which in essence are energy. What people call the code that makes up our DNA, the program of human life, is an energy vibrational combination that allows you to complete the hologram of man. It contains the memory of all the energy components of the incarnations of not only an individual, but also his entire family dynasty. Scientists have determined that in the structure of DNA cells of a healthy organism, the combination of color energy is always green with red and yellow with blue. Changes in the energy connections of colors are a deviation and, on the physical plane, are expressed in ugliness. A reasonable explanation for this is that the vibration frequency of these colors harmoniously resonates with each other. So, everything is energy. Thought is material. Thought equals matter equals energy. More precisely, energy of thought equals energy of matter. The purer and higher the vibrations, the better the projection of the hologram, and therefore the form of life. Thought, form, action, result. Different vibrational energy frequencies form the corresponding forms of life. On an earthly level, it looks like this. Vibrational connections of earth and water energy create a huge number of species of animals, plants, insects. Low-frequency energies cannot project a physical hologram in the same way that they themselves do not generate energy and do not resonate with other types of energies. In other words, their vibration frequency is so weak that there are not enough vibrations to create shapes. To maintain their form of life, they need to collect energy of similar frequencies. Therefore, they connect to their carrier and feed on it, manipulating its thoughts and actions. These substances are parasites, energy vampires, sometimes completely take possession of a person. And this is how it happens. With the manifestation of negative outbursts, discontent, resentment, hatred, anger, a channel opens through which the entity connects to the person. With frequent such reactions of the body, and with the connection of various parasitic entities, the frequencies of vibrations of human energy decrease. He becomes lethargic, irritable, and gets sick. Thus, it falls under complete dependence on connected entities or, in other words, low-frequency clusters, compounds that have the property of a collective nature. Over time, there are more and more of them. Parasites, when acquiring a physical form of life in the form of their carrier, and to maintain it, need to provoke situations by means of which they receive nourishment from other people. Therefore, the physical projection of a person, in which another program was originally laid, becomes dependent on the manipulation of impulsive, destructive flows and, as a rule, does not understand what is happening. This behavior is similar to that of primitive animal instincts. There are an incredible number of energy life forms that are not visible to the human eye. People call them devils, larvae, demons, earthly evil spirits. These include interdimensional entities. And the inhabitants of some planets are planetary predators. There are also life forms with high-frequency vibrations. The projections of their worlds are on a subtle level. The actions of low-frequency substances are aimed at provoking scandals and troubles, small parasites, catastrophes, wars, a huge accumulation of various forms of entities, in order to feed on the energy of grief, anger, suffering. They need this combination of vibrational energy frequencies to survive. The task of high-frequency life forms is to help increase the frequency of vibrations of each particle of infinite love, planets, civilizations, galaxies. Absolutely everything is interconnected. There are no coincidences. Any hologram is created according to the same scheme, as we are all particles of one whole. Therefore, the visible picture of the world is one. Thought, thinking, thought form equals materialization of thought, matter of thought. In the nature around us, there are many clues to the law of building the world. There is an expression, the truth is somewhere nearby. And she's really there. It can be considered on the example of the simple structure of the flower. The center is the pistil, around it are the stamens, and then the petals. The structure of the pistil, density, massiveness, hardness, vibration waves are high, short, the stamens are thinner, but there are several of them, vibration waves are slightly lower, slightly longer, the petals are thinner, larger, more, vibration waves are lower, longer. The farther from the center of the petal, the larger and paler it is. The flower, or rather, the energy vibrational component of the hologram of the flower, is in constant interaction with the various vibrational frequencies of other forms of life, bees, butterflies, other insects, gives and receives energy. An example of metabolism, and therefore the exchange of energies in nature. More understandable is the example of a burning candle. There is a wick in the center. The power of the energy here is stronger, the light is brighter, the frequency of vibrations is higher, the color is more saturated. The farther from the center, the weaker the vibrations, the color changes, the radiation waves are lower. Even further, barely noticeable fluctuations, the color dissolves. It is not visible to the eye, but it still exists. In this example, both the structure and understanding of the visible and the invisible become clear. For those who do not believe in the process of rebirth, I give an example of how a caterpillar is reborn into a butterfly. From a nondescript life form that can only crawl and harm plants, it turns into a beautiful creature that can fly and be useful. In the same way, when a person leaves the physical body, the energy of the soul remains. This energy projects a new form of life over time, depending on the frequency of the vibrations it emits. Hence the conclusion, the task of each energy substance, including a person, is to increase the frequency of its vibrations and move to a new level. The formation of thought forms that affect the quality of the created world depends on them. Infinite's core, supermicroscopic dust, an empty space of infinity, it is an endless possibility of options, in which there is everything and there is nothing, this is the energy of light.